Hi, chemistry. Today we're going to be talking about what makes an atom stable, and this is going to be part 2. So yesterday you played with Build an Atom and looked at different atoms and determined which isotopes were stable and which weren't. And you should have filled in a chart on the page that I gave you. So today you're going to be doing some data analysis with that information. So the first thing it asks you to do is to graph your data where protons are on the x-axis or on the bottom and neutrons are on the y-axis. So I filled in the first 3 columns so we can use my data. So hydrogen is stable when it has 1 proton and 1 neutron. So I'll go back to my graph and I am going to mark that 1 proton and 1 neutron are stable. You're welcome to do this on a piece of paper. I made these little dots that I can just drag to where I want them. So 1 proton and 1 neutron is stable. Let's look at helium to figure out where our next point is going to be. Helium has 2 protons and it's stable with either 1 or 2 neutrons. So I'm going to go back to my graph and I'm going to graph both of those points. So helium has 2 neutrons and it's stable, or 2 protons, and it's stable with 1 neutron or 2 neutrons. You're going to continue and graph all of the data you have from yesterday. And underneath that, you're going to describe what your data tells you. Part 2 asks you to go back to the Build an Atom simulation, but instead of clicking on the atom section, you're going to click on the symbol section. And just like the last part, you add protons and neutrons and electrons to build an atom. But for this part, it shows you a chemical symbol and it asks you to figure out what the different parts represent. So follow the instructions on the page to get the information from the simulation and fill in this chart. Below that, there's a few practice questions to attempt to answer. If you can, you probably understand the material. If you don't, go back and look at the simulation again. If you're confused or need help with anything, please send me an email or come to office hours. I'll see you on Friday. Bye, chemistry!